Hello and welcome to the Astrology Forecast. My name is Sage, here as your eye into the sky, letting you know what the cosmic events are for the week, why they matter, and how you can use this information in your everyday life. So we are officially halfway through the Mercury retrograde period, which is really good news for a lot of us, especially all my Geminis and Virgos listening, because Mercury retrograde can definitely spin things around on its head, cause a lot of mishaps, miscommunications, tech glitches, all that stuff. So I do have some good news in the sense that we are halfway done. Now, the other side of that is Mercury is going to be moving back into the sign it was previously in before it started the retrograde. So that's going to be something we discuss today. This is also kind of an interesting week because we are approaching a full moon. I will be releasing another full moon horoscope video. The last one, you guys really shocked me. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for all the love and support on that. I can definitely see that horoscopes are very interesting to a lot of us, myself included. So I will be releasing a horoscope video for the full moon in Aquarius, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Now this week we are going to be looking at Leo and Gemini. So if you have your birth chart handy, I would recommend looking at those two houses as they are going to be where the majority of planetary action and movement is occurring. And as always, make sure that you like this video if you get value from it. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. If you've got any feedback, anything you want to share about this week, my comments are below. I would love to hear from you guys. And with that being said, let's dive into everything for this week. All right, so starting off the week on Wednesday, August 14th, Mars and Jupiter are conjunct in the sign of Gemini. Now, Mars and Jupiter have both been in Gemini for a little bit of time now. Jupiter has been in Gemini since May. Mars has only been there for the last few weeks. However, this is a pretty rare conjunction. This doesn't happen all that often. And when it does, we really want to pay attention, especially to the Gemini house in your chart. If you don't know where this is, message me, go online, find this out. I highly encourage it because ever since May, when Jupiter first entered Gemini, this area of your life has certainly been getting a new douse of luck and expansion and potentially a lot of good things. Now, Mars entering Gemini at the end of July certainly caused a little bit of chaos, maybe some conflict, maybe some aggression, maybe just some obstacle or challenge in this area of life, which was otherwise feeling pretty good. Now, throughout the beginning of August, we've certainly been dealing with a lot, right? We've had the Mercury retrograde. Now we also have Mars in Gemini. And seriously, if you are a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising listening to this, I feel you guys check on your Gemini friends because between the Mars-Jupiter conjunction happening in Gemini and the Mercury retrograde, which Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, Geminis out there are definitely getting thrown for a loop. So let's all, give them some grace here, guys. But with Mars conjunct Jupiter, Mars is the planet of action, battle, willpower, motivation, and Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion. Jupiter is everything philosophical and everything that takes something small and brings it to its largest form. It's that planet of dreaming big. Now, Jupiter is very beneficial. In astrology, it's known as the greater benefic, right? A very positive planet. Mars, on the other hand, is known as a malefic. So malefic, of course, very opposite of benefic, can bring challenges. Up until this point, Mars might have been bringing challenges, especially if you have early degree Gemini placements. And if you're not sure, go ahead and message me or book a reading and we can look. Because it wasn't near Jupiter, so Mars was really acting all on its own volition, which can cause some struggle, some strife, maybe even some aggression or some conflict. As Mars approaches Jupiter, this is a sort of good energy that's influencing the otherwise more challenging Mars. This can be the energy of triumph, like we have a challenge we've been working towards and suddenly we overcome it. So that's one example of how the Mars-Jupiter can really show up in a very positive light. Other ways that Mars-Jupiter can show up, this is sort of like superhero energy, right? If you think about Mars-Jupiter, I think of Mars-Jupiter like the superhero. He's seeing everything going on, all of the chaos, all of the problems, and he's sort of flying overhead, swooping in and saving the day, right? That's what's going on as Mars approaches Jupiter. These two planets come together in the sky, they hold hands, and Jupiter kind of looks to Mars and says, I know things have been tough, but it's going to be okay. let's think a little differently, let's expand our mind. Jupiter is a very positive and optimistic planet. So if you've been experiencing some strife, some struggle, some conflict, maybe even some doubt and fear, especially Geminis, but even my Virgos or anybody listening, this could be something that's showing up in any area of life, right? Because we all have Gemini in a particular area of our life. So now, all of a sudden, this problem might be met with a positive spin, right? We might notice, wait, I can look at this differently. Let me reframe this. Or there's a positive outcome that I just didn't see before. So this is why, in many ways, this Mars-Jupiter conjunction happening on Wednesday the 14th can be really positive, really beneficial, and overall something to look forward to. Other things about this, I would pay attention to the area of life this is affecting. You might feel a sense of motivation, like you want to take action in this part of your life. You might want to expand this part of your life. It also could show up that we want to fight for something here, whether this be ourselves, our income, our home, our family, our career, our beliefs. There's something we are looking to fight for. And maybe up until this point, we've been feeling like it's a lot harder than we thought. But suddenly, when they come together, Mars, Jupiter, we feel like there's something really exciting and purposeful that we can take action towards. And we can really fight for something good, right? It's fighting for the greater good. It's really, that's the key phrase of Mars conjunct Jupiter. It's fighting for the greater good. So what area of your life is fighting for the greater good? This conjunction will take effect. It's been in effect, but it's going to hit its peak on Wednesday. And we probably will still feel the effects of it going into even next week. However, pay attention because this is the week where it's going to be the most potent. So whatever is supposed to happen in this area of your life, whatever new developments are unfolding, pay attention because it's likely that they will unfold this week. All right, so let's dive into all things Mercury retrograde. Coincidentally, the next cosmic event is also happening on Wednesday, August 14th, but this is Mercury retrograde re-entering Leo. So again, remember, retrograde means that the planet is, from our vantage point, moving backwards through the zodiac. So normally we have Leo season, and then after Leo season comes Virgo season. Well, currently, and for the last week or so, actually a couple weeks, Mercury's been in Virgo. But as it's moving backwards through the zodiac, it'll actually be re-entering the sign previous to Virgo, which is Leo, and this is happening on Wednesday. Now, the last time that Mercury was in Leo, and it was at this particular part of the Leo zodiac sign, meaning these certain degrees, was July 18th through the 25th. So think back on what was going on at the very end of July, that last week of July, the last couple weeks of July. What was going on for you during that time? What were you thinking about? What were you talking about? What conversations were being had? These things, topics, conversations, maybe people in our life, again, knowing where you have this showing up in your birth chart can be even more informative, because right now I'm giving a general, but knowing where it's showing up can give you even more insight. This might be coming back around. It's retrograde, right? So retrogrades are all things that bring us back to something from the past. It's like a flash from the past where suddenly we are wanting to text our ex. We are looking back over old projects we did not complete. We're having the conversation that we didn't have that we wanted to have, right? These are likely to occur, amongst other things, of course, right? Technology delays, missed appointments, travel delays, glitches, right? All of that could happen. My phone literally has shut off randomly multiple times during the retrograde. I couldn't tell you why. I just blame the retrograde. I can give you so many experiences, even just in the last week. Emails going to the wrong email address, people apologizing. I'm sorry for the oversight. It's okay. Retrograde, right? We flow with it because we are aware of it. That's what gives us the power that empowers us to work with the cosmic energy. But again, Mercury going into Leo on the 14th is very important because we've had Mercury in Virgo. Now, Mercury in Virgo was excellent. It gave us the ability to analyze, to think. And during the time when Mercury was retrograding through Virgo, it's likely that we were reanalyzing the details of our life. We might have been reorganizing, going back over things. I literally just redid my closet yesterday because I needed to throw away things that were no longer useful and make some space for what I did want to bring in. So this is exactly what retrograde's here for. Now, Mercury in Virgo was great for noticing the details, almost going over things with a fine-tooth comb. You were essentially editing your life. Now that Mercury is re-entering Leo, it's time to consider and maybe even reflect, because that's a very retrograde type thing to do, on how we can basically express the concepts, the ideas, the lessons that we learned so far with Mercury being in Virgo. How can we express that authentically now through our mouth, through our words, through what we say, speak, think? How can I be more authentic? If I realized during the time when Mercury was in Virgo, and think about how this might show up for you, if you realize that certain things were or were not working, now how do you integrate that into your creative self-expression? How do you speak on that? This is what Mercury in Leo is about, because Mercury in Leo is the performer. It is extroverted. It's fun loving. It's like the party started when Mercury enters Leo. I want to go have fun. It's also the sign of youth and children, so your inner child. You even might be reflecting more on your inner child and thinking of ways that you could tap back into that. Again, retrograde is a great time to go back over things. Maybe you haven't been as in touch with things you loved to do as a kid. Mercury retrograding back into Leo is the best time to do that. Get that old scrapbook out, that old video game. Maybe you love to draw or paint or sing as a kid. Do that, right? Really find ways to tap into the fun, the light, the expression, the inner child play. This is a great time for that. I will also include to ask yourself certain reflection questions, especially regarding your visibility, because Leo is the sign, in many ways, it's like the celebrity sign of astrology. And so it's likely that when Mercury is in Leo, we're thinking about how we are seen by other people. How do people view me? What is my perception of others and their perception of me? Do I take up too much space, or do I take up not enough space? These are great questions to ask yourself, and even tying that into the area of life that Mercury is moving through. Meaning, if you have Leo in the fourth house, do you take up a lot of space in your family, or maybe not enough space? Similar to your job, your career, your marriage, right? These are really important questions to think about. Now, Mercury will be in Leo up until the time it goes direct on August 28th. However, it will actually stay in Leo all the way until September 9th, when it finally re-enters Virgo. And then it'll stay back in Virgo until the end of September, when it finally is done with all the retrograde business and enters into Libra. So we do have some time with this energy. Of course, retrograde tends to slow things down. So take your time, right? Make sure that you're looking things over and really use this as a cosmic break. This is actually an amazing opportunity to go back over things. Maybe go again, clean out your closet like I just did. Go through your phone, your photos, maybe delete some stuff you don't need anymore, and really just take time to essentially use this as a break period to reflect, to revise, to redo, and get ready for the fall, because when that happens, everything goes back full force, full steam ahead, and we move directly ahead with the Mercury positive direct energy as it stations at the end of August. And that really wraps us up. Like I said, there is a full moon happening on Sunday, the 19th. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel, as I will be releasing a forecast, a full all 12 sign horoscope, which will go over how this full moon is showing up and where it's showing up in your life according to your rising sign. So knowing your rising sign is very helpful for that horoscope, although even just knowing your sun and moon is extremely beneficial. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really hope you got value from this video. I hope the Mercury retrograde is treating you well, that you're learning the right lessons, that you're taking the right time. And again, also, I really do pray that the Jupiter and Mars conjunction is beneficial. Really fight for something you believe in, take charge, take action, and utilize this time, especially as we are in the midst of so much cosmic energy. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. I wish you all a beautiful week, and I will see you guys on the next video.